Hi, and welcome to what I guess is the first official Woman in the Woods video. This is my very first solo winter camping practice weekend. I'm here on my brother's property. He was sweet enough to pick me up at the Oshawa GO station, and we drove out here, and he walked me through his beautiful, enormous property and brought me to his favorite spot in his woods, and I loved it too. It's perfect. And that's where we're gonna go now. So follow me. So here's my spot. It's perfect because there's this natural little clearing and tons of fallen dead wood, as you can see. There's also a tree over there that I'm going to cut down just for the practice. These two trees here are exactly 13 steps apart, which is what I need for my hammock tent. So I'm going to get started on building a fire ring. I'm going to clear away all of these dry dead leaves, put them aside for kindling, and just build a circle of stones to create a fire ring. And I'll set up my hammock tent and then I'll be back. All right, so it's been 31 minutes since I've been out here, and my hands, I don't know if you can really see, my hands are super dirty now, which, I'm bleeding. But the fire ring is complete, and then I might make it larger, like taller, but I think before my hands get any dirtier, I'm gonna set up my hammock tent and sleeping bag, and I'm gonna show you the fire ring. All right, so there it is. I also did a bit of housekeeping, gathered all these dead, very dry branches around. They're all snapping beneath my feet. So yeah, so this is quite large. I might bring it in a tiny bit, but yeah, that was quite the workout bringing all those rocks over. And I've even got a little bench, little stool there for me to sit on, which is facing east. It is facing due east, so that in the morning I can make a coffee and watch the sunrise, and my hammock tent will be just behind. It will be just behind on those two trees. So why don't I do that now? Okay, so after all that, I decided that I didn't like those two trees after all. They were a little too far apart, even though I thought they were exactly 13 footsteps apart. They're actually a bit wide, so I took the tent down. It's around my neck right now, and I'm gonna re-put it up beside these two trees. So let's try that again. All right, hammock tent is hung. I'm gonna put the sleeping bag in there, put the fly up. I really should have put the fly up first, just in case bad weather arrives. But I guess that's why I'm practicing, to remember that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna start a fire because I'm cold. Now that I've stopped lifting rocks, yeah, I'm cold. So Yeah, let's do that. And also, just for the record, I've been here exactly 1 hour now. So in 1 hour, I have set up my hammock tent, built a fire ring, collected quite a pile of very dry branches, and yeah, let's see what we can get accomplished in the second hour. All right, so this is my first time experimenting with a tarp other than the asymmetrical fly that my hammock tent came with. And the reason I am experimenting with other tarps is because I wanted to build something that covered a little more area in case, like because I'm going to be spending a lot of time at my campsite since the sun goes down so early. Aside from being super ugly, it's like super claustrophobic underneath there. I'm really not happy with this, but I did not bring the regular asymmetrical fly, so I am gonna have to deal with this for tonight. I mean, the blue color is not so bad because it's hunting season and I don't want, I don't want to blend in. The fly is green, but I don't think people hunt at night, so I don't think that's an issue. Anyway, that's what's happening tonight. Not happy with that at all. All right, it is 1:45. I've been here an hour and 45 minutes. I've got a little fire going. I started it with a lighter and a couple of pieces of balled up newspaper and one of these fuel tablets from Coghlan's, just to make sure that the initial fire kept going long enough to, there's lots of dry stuff here, but it's damp on the outside. Anyway, so it looks like it's going. I'm gonna try cooking some food. All right, so I'm really happy with the fire. Yeah, I hope it's always that easy. Today, it's only 1:45. For dinner, for lunch, is Annie's 4-cheese craft dinner, macaroni and cheese, and real bacon bits, 75 grams of real bacon bits. So that is a meal of 900 calories, which is a lot. I don't know if I can eat it all, and if I can't, that's a problem because it's not like I can save it because of the scent. So let's see. All right, so mission successful. Actually, the first pot of water that I got boiling, because I set the grill on top of a pile of sticks, as the sticks started to burn, all of a sudden it tipped over. The pot, all the water got tipped over. Thankfully, it didn't put the fire out, so I had to start over. Lesson learned. Yeah, the water boils very quickly. Cook the pasta. So I'm now enjoying, how do I do this? This 4-cheese, it's Annie's, which is all organic ingredients. Annie's 4-cheese macaroni and cheese with a pouch of bacon bits, and it's pretty delicious. Tastes like a bacon cheeseburger. It's a lot of food though, but yeah, and I'm just enjoying sitting by the fire. So yeah, successful so far. Okay, so I've been out here for exactly 3 hours now. I have a huge pile of dry branches. I've made a fire. I've eaten. yeah, that macaroni and cheese with bacon is like way too much food. I feel disgusting right now. So I'll have to reevaluate, yeah, my meals. I know I'll have been hiking all day, which I didn't do today, but I know from hiking in the past and from marathon running that like after a lot of exercise, you aren't necessarily starving like right away. Anywho, I'll figure it out. Also, I had wanted to test that the pot that I brought was big enough, and it is. It's perfect. Yeah. So I guess I'll report back again in another hour, but basically I'm already bored. Okay, so it is 4:15. Sun goes down in half an hour. So I've been out here for just over 4 hours. I feel tired already. I guess I've just been collecting wood and tending the fire and sawing wood all day. I finally finished that meal. It's way too much food. Like I still feel absolutely disgusting. And I think it's really high in sodium as well because I'm super thirsty and I'm running low on water. And I want to save water for morning coffee. Anywho, so when the sun goes down, I will climb into my hammock and read. I've already put my book, my headlamp, extra batteries, 2 pens, and my night pants in there. I'm just gonna, because your pants get like super dirty, so I will just change into different pants to sleep. That's about it. I guess I'll check in again after sundown. All right, it's 5:30. It is pitch black dark out. I did a little cheat. I went to the house and got a liter of water because, yeah, when the pot flipped over earlier, I lost almost a whole liter of water. And I don't really consider it a cheat because I will always be near a water source on my trip, which is why I'm here preparing for my trip to Arkansas, the Ozark Highlands Trail. There was another cheat that I don't really consider a cheat. Oh yeah, that I used some newspaper to start the fire because I will be bringing a book with me and I am more than willing to burn pages if I need kindling. So that's also not a cheat. Yeah, so it's 5:30. Oh, also when I went to the house, I was amazed at how much colder it is out there as opposed to, here by the fire. I just didn't really realize how much heat the fire was giving off, so that's awesome. Yeah, so I'm basically going to stay out here for a while. I'm gonna have that much anticipated sip of whiskey. And then I'm gonna curl into my hammock tent and read. But I'm just, not tired yet. So yeah, so far so good. I've had the same fire going all day. So I'm pretty proud of that. It was a nice day. It's only like -1 or something. So it's like, as far as a test day goes, like so far successful. I mean, the hard part's kind of now when I start to get freaked out. Right as soon as dusk set, I heard a pack of coyotes like howling. I was like, oh my God. But anywho, there was nothing too challenging as far as weather conditions. It wasn't super freezing. It wasn't raining. There was tons of available dry branches. So that's fine. It's good to have a win under my belt. Yeah. So I guess I will check back in shortly. Okay, so it's 6:30. I have a roaring fire. I've had that same fire going all day. It's like super big and warm and awesome. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep tending to the fire until whatever, and then I'll go to bed. But I think it's time for the swig, the controversial swig. All the advice on Facebook is saying, don't do it, you'll be freezing tonight, blah, blah, blah. But I have a roaring fire. It's only gonna get to -2. I have a good to -18 sleeping bag, and I'm not gonna get drunk. Even if I drank this whole thing, which I certainly am not, it's 200 milliliters. I'm only gonna have 60 milliliters. Yeah. All right. Yum. All right. So it's 7:20 or something like that. I've had my 2 swigs of whiskey. Very controversial on Facebook. They're like, oh, you're gonna be so cold, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm not getting drunk. I have a roaring fire. I have a sleeping bag that's good to -18, and tonight it's only going to get to -2. I think I'll be okay. But yeah, this is like the best moment. It's like when it's night and there's just the campfire. I love that smell. And yeah. So yeah. All in all, a great day. And looking forward to having my morning coffee. I should have brought more coffee packet thingies because they weigh like nothing. And if I can't have alcohol in the evening, I want a coffee. So I wanted a coffee earlier, but I didn't want to. I only brought one, which is just really stupid. But whatever. So yeah. I don't know, successful first trial, and I'll check back in and before I go to bed. Hi. So it's 8 o'clock on the dot. Confession time. All right, I did drink the whole thing of Fireball whiskey. Why did I do that? Because I'm not bored, like in the sense that I'm complaining, but I'm just saying like I'm here and I've got a roaring fire. I'm in nature. I've had an awesome day and it's not very cold. My brother's house is right there. So yeah. So I drank it. Yeah, so now I'm having a snack, pepperoni stick. And I have a protein bar as well. And then I'm gonna go in the hammock tent. I'm not gonna cut any more wood or feed this fire anymore. I'm gonna go in the hammock tent and read and stuff. So I just had to be honest. I did drink the 200 milliliter. I don't know what that's called. Oh, I think it's called a fifth. That's what Charles Bukowski calls it, a fifth of whiskey. Cool. So I drank a fifth of whiskey. I feel fine. I wouldn't do that if, well, I wouldn't even be able to carry 5 or 6/5 of whiskey on my trip. But this is a one-night trip. So I did. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's just nice at the end of the day, in front of the fire. You're by yourself. You're with nature. It's kind of the perfect time to have some whiskey. Anywho, I drank the whole bottle. There, I've been honest. Those Facebook people who were like, oh, you're gonna freeze, and well, here's your chance to be right. I will check in again in the morning, obviously. Maybe one more time tonight. Okay, bye. Okay, so it's 8:20. I'm here in my hammock tent. Even though, I didn't really love the tarp setup, and I will continue working on it. It's fine. It's, yeah. Anyway, so I'm here and I'm going to go to sleep soon. I will sign or check back in the morning, and we'll have morning coffee. Great. Good morning. It is 6:20, and it is -2, and I am freezing. Well, I'm not freezing. I'm just, I'm not comfortable. I would have assumed that in a -18 sleeping bag, that at -2, I would have been super toasty, like super comfortable. So that's, well, there's two things. So I can bring an extra layer of clothes for night. My night pants, like carrying an extra pair of pants is only 0.4 pounds. So if I brought some sort of merino wool top as well, like if I carry a pound of clothes for night, I'm sure I can get rid of something else that was a pound. And the other thing is that I did have the Fireball whiskey, which everyone was like, it's going to lower your body temperature and you're going to freeze and blah, blah, blah. So perhaps there's some truth to that. Good to know. Also, yeah, so maybe I'll be leaving that out of the equation and bring me an extra layer just in case. Yeah, I'll just bring more coffee. Fun. So I'm just waiting for it to get light out, and then I'm going to boil some water, make a coffee, and stuff. I kind of want to hang out here as long as possible because it was my brother's birthday yesterday, so I know there's a bunch of drunk people passed out everywhere in his house. So yeah, I'll just wait as long as possible. Maybe I don't want to disturb them, etc. So all right, but I did survive, and learned a couple lessons. No Fireball whiskey. Okay, see you at the fire ring over coffee. So I'm finally out of the hammock tent, and I just started putting twigs and leaves on last night's fire. I haven't even set a mat, put a lighter to it or anything, and it's already starting to smoke because obviously there's, that white ash is still very, very hot. So this is exciting. I'm going to see if I can try and start the fire just from the ashes. But whatever, for expediency's sake, I might use some sort of fire starter. But anyway, yes, the sun is rising, and I would really like to have a coffee. So yeah, I just think this is exciting. And there we have it, a brand new fire just from new kindling, some dry leaves, and lots of carbon dioxide, me blowing on it. Is that right? I thought a fire needed oxygen. But whatever, me blowing on it. So yeah, I'm gonna just get some more twigs and branches and stuff to make sure this keeps lit, and then I'm gonna do my coffee. But I'm just so proud and happy about this fire. Okay, so I have my fire going. I have my coffee in this nice Nalgene bottle. And my toes really hurt. So as soon as I got out of the tent, yeah, it's cold out here. My water didn't freeze. I put both bottles of water upside down, but they didn't freeze, like some crystallization, but they didn't freeze. But yet, yeah, my toes are just like aching right now. So I'm just really trying to get the fire built up so that I can warm my toes. I'm like so tempted to just pack up as quickly as possible and go to my brother's house. But I won't have that luxury when I am on the Ozark Highlands Trail for 11 days, if all goes according to plan. So I need to, I guess this is the tough part, whatever. The tough part is, I don't know, when the novelty wears off, I guess. So I arrived here, it was exciting. I built the fire ring, it was exciting, set up camp, keep busy. And now it's just really about keeping warm. So I'm going to sit at the fire, put my toes as close to the fire as possible. But I'm also worried about sitting on that rock as much as I have been. I don't want to, end up with a case of hemorrhoids, which happens when you sit on cold things, our teachers used to tell us. All right, I just wanted to talk about this tarp. When I woke up this morning, or when I unzipped my sleeping bag, it was completely wet on my sleeping bag. And then I realized, particularly just around, the head opening for your head. But even a little bit further down. And so what happened was because that it was sitting directly, like my hammock tent is a fully enclosed tent with a zipper, but the top portion is mesh, to let, well, in this case, certainly to let my breath escape. And the asymmetrical fly, which hangs just above and doesn't completely cover the way this blue tarp does, anyway, lets your breath escape. And so it didn't do that. And so all that moisture was kept inside, which is not good. Now I have a little bit of a moist sleeping bag, so I have to get that dry. And certainly if that moisture then freezes, that can be very dangerous. So I am just getting rid of the whole tarp thing. I'm sticking with the asymmetrical fly. If it's raining, I guess I'll just have to be in my hammock tent. Too bad, so sad. Thankfully, that time of year, they don't get a lot of rain. So, but yeah. And yeah, that was really weird. When I got out of I was warm and everything felt fine. When I got out of the sleeping bag, all my toes particularly my big toes, but all my toes really began to ache. So I've been warming them by the fire. My right foot's fine now. My left foot's almost there. But I think what that means is that I was fine in the sleeping bag, but as soon as I got out into these colder temperatures, like I need to keep my feet warmer through the night. So I'm going to purchase a pair of wool socks to just keep inside the sleeping bag at all times. Go back to the asymmetrical fly, and that's it. So just gonna hang out here for as long as possible, because like I said, my brother has guests in the house, and I won't have the luxury of retreating to a nice warm house first thing in the morning. I'll try and stick it out here till noon. I mean, it'll be different on the trail because I'll get packed up and I'll start hiking, but there's nowhere for me to hike to today. So, another really good thing, I didn't get scared last night. I didn't get scared of, strangers in the woods or whatever, probably because, I'm on private property. But I also, even when I heard the coyotes all night long, I didn't get scared. I think it's because my logic is telling me that I'm choosing to be here. So it's kind of pointless to be scared, deal with it if a situation arises. But other than that, it's kind of pointless. You chose to be here, so, just deal with it. So, so that was good too. All right, talk to you soon. All right, I'm all packed up. I have put the fire out. I know it's still smoldering, but I'm out of water. So I will go to the house, shower, do all that stuff, and then I'll come back and check or come back with more water to put that out. But it is time. So I've been out here 22 and a half hours. It's 10:30 in the morning. So that's it. Mission complete. And let's go back to the house.